to know the thrill of a coach when you see a kid drafted. Is it the same as it was with Wayne Simeon? Is it the same when it's Christian Braun or Grady Dick? I mean, that's got to be the biggest thrill for a man who's coached these people.
Yeah, I think it is the same, but there is a little bit of a difference. I think the difference is with CB going 21, that shocked everybody. With Ochai going 14, we expected that, and we knew that's where he would go. With Joel and Wiggs going 1 and 3, or Wiggs and Joel going 1 and 3, we knew that. But when somebody sneaks in there that goes a little bit higher, or whatever, than what you anticipate, I think there's actually more joy in that. Even though you're equally happy for the families, obviously. I mean, because the draft night, same with all sports. It's a life-altering event for a family, and even though we know Grady's going to go pretty high, and we believe Jalen's going to go in a position where he can make a team. We think that, but still, all that hard work and sacrifices that families make to hear their name called on draft night is pretty special. And I've had the chance to go to several of them, and I'll be there sitting with Grady and then with Jalen after. But I've had a chance to go to several of them, and it's amazing how moving it is to all the families that are there, not just your own, obviously. And so it's a cool night.
Have you learned what to say to them while they're waiting? You'll be sitting with Grady. Have you learned from past experience the best things to say?
Not really. I think I've said several times, hey, it's not where you get picked, it's who picks you. It's about the fit. So if they don't go exactly where they want to, it's about the fit. This will be a better fit later. And if they go real early, this is perfect. So no matter where they go, it's going to be a good. We'll spin it positively.
Now, what was bigger for you, seeing CB drafted or see him win a championship?
I would say seeing him win a championship because of the role he played in helping them win a championship. I mean, I believe in my guys. But you wouldn't have told me that I would have thought Grady Dick would be a one-and-done lottery pick, or Jalen Wilson would be a first-team All-American, or Ochai would go from a junior year to a first-team All-American, or CB would be the only rookie that played any meaningful minutes in the entire NBA playoffs. I wouldn't have said that I believe those things because they always continue to surpass and surprise, but I do think it's so important for these kids to get in the right situations, and CB is in the perfect situation for him.
But this is what I told his mother. Your son is a spark. When he comes in, everybody plays different. Then in game 3, I saw him do some things I saw him do at KU.
Yeah, he was good.
And so did you see some things him do on the court for the Nuggets that he did for you?
Yes, but I actually think in his mind, which I believe he's right because he's cut different, he didn't do near as much at KU as what he felt he could have. I mean, the guy is ultra aggressive, and I'm sure that he in his mind could have done more from a scoring standpoint. And in my mind and everybody else's mind, he did perfect. We won a lot of games, won a national championship. So he played his role beautifully because we had other guys that had roles to play too. But what he did in game 3, I assume that's the game he went 7 for 8. Was
15 points in 19 minutes.
And just played downhill and fearless and those sorts of things. That's one thing that I definitely, and we all know about him, is that it doesn't matter. A lot of people talk a good game saying they fear no one. This guy actually lives it. He does, and on a basketball court, he fears no one.
So how much is he like Parker? Now you're going to have Parker.
I think I don't want to say polar opposites, but I think they're different in many ways. Parker's bigger. Parker's more bouncy. Parker runs every bit as good or better. CB's smaller. CB's got a gear to him from a competitive standpoint that few can get to. That's where we need to improve Parker. Parker's got to become more aggressive in a lot of different ways. But from a talent standpoint, there's some similarities there. Parker Braun can play, and he'll definitely help us.
You know, you and I were talking about health stuff, and everybody was worried about you. And I know you're looking great, and you're feeling great,
Looking
whatever.
great's a stretch.
But out of all of that, how do you handle coaching any differently? I mean, I know you're eating better, and I know you're exercising, but coaching's a high-pressure job.
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
I think I can. I think I can be better at not worrying about things that don't matter. I think I've always, I don't think control freak's the right word, but as I've gotten older, I've gotten better. But it used to be that I wanted to have my hand on every little thing that's going on, and I've changed since then. I mean, I'm not that way near as much now, but there are certain things that are stressors that have absolutely no relevance in the big picture, and I need to eliminate those. And I think all people do, and certainly in my profession, I need to. I think there's ways to do it. And this sounds corny. This sounds so corny, but I just finished up, the last season with Ted Lasso. Can't we all learn something from that? I mean, can't we all say, there is a time where rolling with it and positivity actually wins more so than the other, and even though of course Jason was fabulous, but even though it may be a little far-fetched, to have a high school football coach from Wichita go coach and finish second in the Premier League and all that. That may be a little far-fetched, but the message is loud and clear, I think, and I think we can all do a better job. And even though I'm not saying that I'm going to be like that, because I can't be that good or that positive, but I do think there's some things we could take away from that could certainly we could apply in everyone's life.
So does this mean like camps will be a little different? Guys aren't going to run if they mess up?
Oh, no,
We're not lightening up at all?
No. We got to hold guys accountable, and we got to be just as tough and demanding and all that stuff. But there's a way to go about it, I think, where maybe it's not quite as stressful in doing that. There's ways to have your team in the best shape ever and never run them a sprint. There's a lot of different things you can do. I think one thing that we can do, whatever the guidelines the players set for themselves, hold the players to those guidelines, rather than them thinking all the time, well, it's you that's putting all the restrictions or guidelines on them. No, we've all agreed this is your idea. I'm just going to hold you to your idea. There's a lot of things we can do like that.
You looking forward to going to Puerto Rico?
I am. Now, this is not etched in stone, but the teams we're going to be playing over there are pros, and so we've gotten word that we may be, playing teams with 5-6 NBA players on them. So it could be a pretty humbling experience. But I think this team probably could use a little bit of that.
They're cocky?
I don't know that they're cocky, but I think every team has to go through some stuff to get to where you want to go, and I just soon go through the stuff early on rather than go through the stuff mid-season.
You haven't really had much of a break. Chris was telling me your schedule after Puerto Rico, you get like 12 days. This new way to kind of let go of the small stuff, has that kind of helped not need that break immediately, that you can really enjoy every day a little better?
Yeah, I've always thought I enjoyed life, but I think there's some things that I can certainly do a lot better.
Name one.
I think get away from work. I think we have this deal with our KU culture is to be fully present. When is anybody really fully present? When do we not have a phone with us? When do we have a sit-down dinner and able to give 100% of us to whoever we're having dinner with? When do we do that kind of stuff? And I think there's some things like that I can certainly be better at.
So Bill's doing that now?
Trying. Not successfully all the time, but trying.
And I've also seen that having grandkids has had an effect on you.
Well, they're the best. Yeah, I mean, we've got three, 5'3" and almost one. So yeah, they're the best. They're as you. I don't know if you are you, Karen?
No,
not so. But I think everybody would agree with me. The most tiring, wear you out. We got two little girls, so they want to do crafts. I don't know anything about that stuff. All that stuff just totally wears you out. But you're glad when you get the break, and then you miss them like heck as soon as they're gone. So it's a fun time.
What do they call you?
Pops.
Pops.
Okay. Yeah.
Rick, I just want to ask you this because it popped in my head, and I won't use this in your story, but have you reached out to Huggy?
Yeah, I have.
Is he okay?
I don't know. I've texted him immediately, and the way that we usually communicate is when the time's right, he always gets back to me, because I feel like we have a very good relationship.
You do.
I love the guy, and I think it's awful for him, his family, and certainly it's not good for our game, and it's not good for our league. He was great for our league.
Yes.
He brought interest, enthusiasm. I mean, I liked him even when he was in Manhattan, because he created interest. I mean, people are drawn to his personality. So he's a no excuse guy, and I'm sure that this has crushed him in a way, because he feels like he's let so many down that actually look up to him. And bottom line is, he's one heck of a basketball coach. Had one unbelievable career, impacted countless people in very positive ways, done more stuff off the court than anybody knows or that he draws credit to. I mean, he's basically responsible for building a cancer wing in his mother's name at the best cancer hospital in the state of West Virginia. I mean, he's done a lot, but this was a situation where hard business decisions have to be made, and I'm sure he respects and understands that.
I just wondered that. All right, my next question about you is, what makes you so good? No, don't tell me you played and your experience at Oklahoma State, and then you have a way, and it was very evident when you weren't there for your team, when they're off track, of pushing the right button at halftime. Sometimes it's saying something that will just get them motivated. Sometimes it's just, hey, if you don't want to win it, okay, that's fine by me. I mean, you got a way to read your team really well. How is that what makes a great coach? Reading your players, not just developing the talent, but in any given game, reading where that talent is?
First of all, our sport is such an inexact science. The more you think you figured it out, the more you realize you don't know. I mean, and the more you know about our game, the more you realize there's so much more to know. So I've stolen from a lot of people. I steal from the guy over there at the Chiefs all the time just by watching him, and he's so bright, so smart, great communicator, and he makes every one of those guys believe that they're playing for him. Pretty special gift as a coach, and I don't know. I mean, we don't have it like that, but I think one thing that I think our team plays with usually, and I can screw it up as with the best of them, is I think our teams usually think they're good. I think our teams usually think they like pressure situations usually. And I take great pride in that, because I think when you play at the highest of stakes, all the games are going to come down to a 4 or 5 minute game, and that's when you have to be your best. And so we prepare all year long, like I'm sure most coaches do, for that 4 or 5 minutes.
But you talk to guys. That's why you come here, for the big game.
Yeah,
You tell them
yeah.
that. Is that like the first thing they hear from you?
I want them to know there's pressure to play here. I want them to know, hey, you asked for it. This is what you asked for. All you're doing is getting what you asked for. Very rarely, like I told when I replaced Roy, I'm replacing the legend, loved, great talent, winning, all those things. Everybody wanting to stay, and I walk in here and the perfect scenario. Well, replace a guy that nobody likes. Replace a guy where they got great players and nobody thinks they're any good. Replace a guy that hasn't won. Those are the perfect scenarios, and I did the polar opposite, obviously. But that's what these players are walking into. They're replacing somebody that is more than likely respected and adored by our school, our fan base, or whatever. So it's not easy. Grady Dick's coming in. That's great. Well, you're replacing Ochai. So we expect you to play at the same level as him. So I want them to know that there's pressure to play here and get up and go to work every day. I think that type of pressure is good. I don't want them to feel like their performance dictates whether we win or lose every game, but I want them to feel like there's pressure on us to deliver. There's pressure on us to get better. But I want it to be there's pressure on us rather than there's pressure on you. And I think that whenever you're able to distribute that in a positive way, I do believe this. I believe that faces change, expectations do not. I really believe that. And if you're recruited here to play, that means we think you're good enough to do the same things these other players have done here.
I heard one of your players say, yeah, we went from having nobody on the team, now to having all these guys on the team. We went from no expectations to now maybe winning a national title. Do you love that portal?
I think it's a bad rule. I think it's that and NIL are going to create some unintended consequences that are not good for college sports. Has the portal been good for Kansas? Yes. Now, it may be bad for us next year or the year after that, but for this particular year, the portal has been good for us. Do I think it's a good rule? No, I don't think it's good for college athletics that every year is a free agency year. Now, if the NCAA holds true and says that kids can only use the portal one time and be eligible immediately unless you graduate, then you're free to do whatever, then I think that is a positive. But there's so many kids out there that are two-time transfers that actually believe 100% in their heart that they're going to be eligible, and they may very well be. I don't think that's that's positive when you can, free agency every year. I don't think that's good for college sports. And everybody talks about it being, well, if coaches can do it, players should be able to do it. I agree. This is a whole different level. I mean, you're talking about if a coach were to leave, I agree. That affects the coach. That affects your present players. That affects the university. If 15 or 13 players pull out after a coach leaves, that sets you back for years, potentially. So I do think that players should be allowed more movement, but I think the movement that they're allowed should be not unrestricted at all. And I hope the NCAA has some teeth to the rule. The rule says you can only do it once, unless you graduate. Then that you can become a two-time guy there. Everybody's ignoring the rule. Everybody is ignoring the rule. So I hope the rule has some teeth to it. And if it doesn't, then it'll just be free agency every year. Because once you take squeeze the paste out of the tube, you're not putting it back in. And so, and everything's based on what can hold up in court. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But for certain schools, and there's many out there, not just Kansas, K-State, for many, K-State just did a great job in the portal as well, getting a couple of their guys, big time. But for many schools, what it does, it prevents you from taking a step backwards. You lose all these kids, well, you just go poach somebody else's. So you may not be quite as good, but you can get close. In the past, you lose all these kids, well, there's not good enough players in the spring to recruit to replace those, so you got to rebuild. And now it's reload. So rebuild isn't going to be a term that's used very much.
The NIL, I saw that the highest paid high school player was LeBron James' son, Bronny, made $7 million through NIL deals.
Projected to make $7 million. I don't think he's made 7 out of high school yet, has he?
Well, I hear California allows high school.
Oh yeah.
So
he's
got some of Daddy's deals with Nike and whatever, so maybe it's a combined.
You may be right. Yeah.
Maybe it's a combined whatever, but $7 million was the number associated with Bronny. What concerns you most about the NIL?
Well, there are exceptions to all rules. not everybody's going to be a talented guy like Braun, whose father is arguably the most recognizable athlete on the planet. That's not going to happen but once or twice, ever. So that's skewed. The biggest thing with NIL to me is what you're hearing about NIL in my world. Cut it in half, then cut it in half again. The stories aren't like it's not happening like all the things out there that people are saying. But it is a primary reason on why youngsters pick schools regardless of sports. I think it's good that players can benefit off their name, image, and likeness and receive compensation for it. I think that's positive. And when you look at the intent of how many families have sacrificed so much for their kid to go away from school by travel, by airline tickets, by transportation, by housing. There's so many things. I mean, think about if your kid is from, let's just say, Florida and goes to school in Kansas over a course of 4 years, and you got a family of 4 traveling to watch them play games. How much would that cost over time? Then you got the NCAA tournament where you don't even know where they're playing yet, so you can't buy an advance ticket or anything. I mean, this is an expensive venture to be able to help families with those sorts of things and kids. I think is so positive. I don't think the intent is people are recruited because they go to the highest bidder, but that is one of the unintended consequences that I believe is taking place with this.
Last couple of questions. I'm not going to ask you your legacy, but how do you want, I mean, I hear people talk about you all the time who have played for you and what they've learned from you. And I hear that about Bill Snyder, and I hear that about all the great coaches. What is it you want all the kids who have come through your doors, whether they were the walk-ons that you once called the cigar at the end of the game, or whether they're the star that was one and done, what do you want them all to get from you that, you know, left your mark in their life to help them become who they could be?
I think the biggest thing that anybody could say to me or my staff after they left is if we allowed them to settle. I don't want to allow anybody to settle. I really hope that that's something that everybody that leaves believes, that, you know, regardless of role, regardless of whatever is, you know, those guys, they push me every day to be a little bit better, because I do think that's something you can take with you in life that can certainly translate to success in whatever you're wanting to be.
You've won everything. You've won national championships. You're
Not enough. We haven't won enough.
Coach of the year. You're in the Hall of Fame. You know, there was a time, and you mentioned it when you first got here after Roy, you really wanted to win that national title to really solidify your staff and your imprints on this program. But now, I mean, I didn't get to see the office because you got it torn up. But the last time I was in your office, it's like tripping over trophies and medals. And I mean, it was like a museum of Bill Self. What do you shoot for?
Well, first of all, I don't want anything around here to be a museum of me. I want it to be a museum of us. Because I think that's one of the things that is so great about this place is this is not a coach's job. This is a program job. When you think about Gonzaga, you think of Mark Few. You know, when you think about West Virginia, you could think of Hugs. When you think about certain schools, you can. I think Kentucky's a program job too. Okay. I think there's some jobs out there that when you think of that particular school, you know, after a coach is gone, that coach doesn't register anymore. It's whoever is coaching at that particular time, and it's success of the program over time. So when I think of Kansas, I don't want it to be think of a one player, one coach. I want it to be thinking of this place is too big for any one player, one coach ever to be the lone person that's thought of. So anything that we do around here, at least in my eyes, I want it to be centered on Kansas. And that's one of the great things about this place. You know, I've said this many times, you know, we're going to recruit a ton of players, and they're going to be really good. and none of them are going to be the best one to ever play here. Will played here. So don't even think about coming here and being that. Don't even, that shouldn't even, I told Joel that, and to me, when you talk about the coaching, Larry Brown, Roy Williams, Ted Owens, obviously Fog Allen, but to me there's one, and that's Fog Allen, to me, even though the others are great, but to me there's one, and so my eyes are always set on how do we take this a step further in a way that leaves this much better than I found it, and I found it really good. So that's my concern. And if we do that, trust me, I would be sky high happy. I don't need anything else to make me think that our importance to this place was more than what it is. Whoever coaches here is going to win. That's how I look at this. So,
even though you're close to Fog Allen's record of wins?
That's only because I'm almost as old as Fog Allen was. That's the only reason. So back, he coached here 39 years. They played 20 games a year back then, and here we are playing 38 or whatever. So there's some records that are so skewed that may mean stuff to people, but to people in the know and that respect the game, no, it's not that big a deal.
So you're not going to cry when that happens?
No.
Not at all?
No.
No sense of pride? No.
I didn't say that, but cry, no. I can't see that. I've cried over moments that I became overcome emotionally, but they're more team moments than they ever were an individual.